Hello everyone, good morning to all. Welcome to the new session of our e-learning class. I am Rasmi Ranjan Misra, lecturer of UN Autonomous College of Science and Technology. Today I am going to discuss on a subject regarding human resource management. So on today's discussion we will go to discuss a new chapter that is relating to training and development. So relating to this chapter we are going to discuss the basic concept of training and development. What is the relationship between training and development? What are the main objectives, functions of training and development? So listen carefully, watch my video. Still, if you have any doubt, then you can give your comment in the comment sections. So now we are going to discuss the first part, that is the concept of training. What do you mean by training? Training that constitutes a basic concept in human resource management or human resource development. It is concerned with developing a particular skill to a desired standard by instruction and practice. So in human resource development or for developing the human in the organization, basically training that must be required, which is concerned with the various types of skills that are required for the employees or developing the particular skill of the employees to a desired standard by giving instruction and by giving practice. So training, it is a highly useful tool which can bring an employee into a particular position where they can do their job correctly, effectively and conscientiously. That means when training is provided to the employee, so by acquiring particular skill or the knowledge relating to a particular area, that brings the employee to a standard position where the employee can do the job or can perform the job or can perform their assigned tasks correctly, effectively and efficiently. So training, it is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee. We can say that in simply, training means when the knowledge and skill is provided by the trainer to the employee, whether they are the fresher or they are the experienced, and they can able to do a particular job very effectively and efficiently. That is known as training, or by providing training the employee can perform their job in a better way. Training may be viewed as a systematic process. So this is a continuous process as well as a systematic process that has been provided to the employee regularly, which has its organizational purpose to impart and providing learning experience. Training is provided only for achieving the organizational purpose as well as equipped with the present methods and procedure for doing a particular work by the employee. So it can bring the improvement in an employee. By providing training, the employee can be improved and hence that enabling him to make his contribution in a greater measure. That means when training is provided to the employee by acquiring knowledge and skill in a particular area, the employee concerned can make his contribution in a greater effect or in a greater measure in meeting or fulfilling the goals and purpose or objectives of the organization. Now we are going to discuss the concept of training. What do you mean by training? Training, it is a process of maintaining and developing the required skill in an employee. So training is a process, and the process made for developing the employee or developing the skills and the talent of an employee, so as to enabling him or enabling that employee to maintain as well as to improve the performance. That means by providing training to the employee can maintain and improve his performance to a greater effect. There is one definition given by Edwin Flippo. He says that training is the act of increasing the skill of an employee. Training is the act, and the act of increasing the skill of an employee when it is made for doing a particular job, that is called as a training, or by providing or by fulfilling the required skills or the gap to the employee. In that case, when the employee is able to perform the job or developing a particular job in an effective manner, that is called as a training. So what is the basic objectives of a training? Why training is provided? The first one is to provide basic knowledge and skill. We already discussed in our meaning part that training means the act of providing knowledge and skill to the employee, to the newly joined people, to perform the tasks as designed by the organization. In which way the organization is going to perform its tasks or achieve its objectives, accordingly the trainer is provided that area of skill and knowledge to the new employee as well as to the experienced employee to handle the new procedure or the methods. The second objective is to improve skill, efficiency and productivity of the organization. That means when training is provided to the employee, whether may be the new employee or the experienced employee, by acquiring the knowledge and skill, they can improve their efficiency as well as the productivity of the organization can also be improved. Then the third one is to create specialization. Training is provided relating to the employee, relating to their area of specialization or area of work. So when training is provided to a particular employee relating to a particular area of specialization, in that case they may be expert after acquiring the knowledge and the skill relating to that particular area. So that is known as to create specialization. The next objectives to increase the morale of employees. Training is provided not for the improvement of the organization productivity. It is also provided to the employee to know the knowledge or to gain the knowledge as well as to maintain the morality as well as discipline in the organization. So by acquiring knowledge and skill, the employee's behavior can be improved. Relating to that, also training provided so that the morality of the employees can be improved or the behavior of the employees can also be improved. How they can behave to their senior as well as to their junior and relating to their colleagues or to the same position of the employee, everything can be provided relating to that area, the trainer will be provided. So the morality or the morale of the employee can also be increased. Then another one is to promote innovation. So when training is provided to the employee, in that case the employees are experienced and in that case they will search for new things and that leads to promote innovation. Next is to attain the objectives of the organization. Basically the main purpose is to achieve the objectives or to ensure the productivity of the organization. So to attain the objectives of the organization, training is also provided. Then another one objectives, that is to motivate the workforce. So when training is provided to the employee, in that case by acquiring knowledge and skills they are motivated and they will be more expertise to that particular area of work and they contribute their maximum effort for increasing the production or as well as the productivity. Then the next one is to meet the competition. Training is also provided to the employee to meet their competitors or to meet with the others relating to the same position in the organization. Then what is the basic benefits when training is provided to the employees? What benefits the organization derived as well as the employee derived? The first benefit, it leads to improved profitability. So when training is provided, productivity increases or experience knowledge of the workers also increases and it leads to profitability. That means training provided or that leads to improvement of the profitability of the organization as well as positive attitude towards profit orientation. That means by providing training, the employees are motivated to work more and to earn more. So in that case there is a positive attitude towards profit orientation. Then the second benefit, improves the job knowledge and skills at all levels of the organization. So training is provided to all levels of employees in the organization and when it will be provided to all the levels, whether may be top or middle or the lower level, in that case the job knowledge as well as the skills at all levels of the employees in the organization also improved. That is another merit point or benefit. Then the third benefit, improve the morale of the workforce. That means by providing training, the workforce or the employees' morale can also be increased or improved. Then the next benefit, it helps people identify with organizational goal. That means by making specialization in a particular area, training is provided to the employee and the employee is identified what are they are specialized and which type of a training is provided relating to their area of specialization and it leads to achievement of the goal or objectives of the organization. Then the next benefit, helps to create a better corporate image. So by acquiring knowledge and skills of the organization or by providing training to the employees of the organization, the employees are specialized and they are expert and that leads to increased productivity, and when productivity increases, in that case that creates a better corporate image throughout the society. Then it also fosters the authenticity, openness and trust. That means employees having open minded to the society as well as to the organization, and they have a trust and a confidence among themselves because they acquire the new procedure or methods of a training by the trainer. So that fosters to the authenticity as well as to the openness and a trust. Then the next benefit, it improves the relationship between superior and a subordinates. So training is also provided to the employees how to behave to the employees, whether to the top level or to the lower level or to the same level by the employees, and in that case the superior subordinate relationship also maintained in a better way. Then the next benefit, it helps prepares guidelines for the work. That means the employees are well equipped and well versatile. In that case they prepare the guideline for their work, how that work can be done and how the objectives of the organization can be achieved. Next benefit, it reduces the outside consulting cost. That means when training is provided by the organization, a trainer is appointed. In that case, the other cost, that means there is no need to appoint the outside employees in the organization for a certain particular period. So in that case, that outside cost or consulting cost also reduced by utilizing internal competitive consultation. That means there is no more requirement of the consultant from outside, and in that case everything or the cost is also reduced. Then the next benefit, it helps in carrying out and implementing the organizational policies. So training provided, that means it implements various types of a guideline or the policies or the rules and the regulation of the organization. Then the next benefit, it helps in increasing the productivity and for total quality of work. Productivity can increase and the quality of work also increased or improved. That means training, when it is provided, the employees are well versed with that training or that methods and procedures of works. So they always try to improve their work or the quality of the work they always try to improve, and that leads to improvement of productivity or increase of productivity as well as the quality of work. Then it helps in organizational development. So training is provided to the employee, that means it helps to develop the organization, it helps to improve the productivity, it helps to increase the skills and the knowledge of the workforce of the organization. Then the next part, that is importance of training. Training of employees and managers are absolutely essential. We already discussed, that means whether they are in top position, they are maybe the manager or the top level executives, for them training is also provided. Whether to the lower level of employees, also training will be provided. So in the changing environment, everybody is necessary to get training or proper training. It is an important activity of human resource development that helps in improving the competency of the employees. Training, it gives a lot of benefits to the employees, such as improvement in efficiency and effectiveness, development of self-confidence, and assist everyone in self-management. So training becomes a mandatory under each and every step of expansion and diversification. Where there is a case of expansion or case of diversification or maybe continuing the activities in a regular manner, training is absolutely mandatory or that is necessary. Only training can improve the quality and reduce the wastage. So when training is provided, there is only one chance. By providing training, the quality of the work improved and the wastage also be minimized or reduced to certain extent or to the minimum. Training and development, it is very essential to adapt according to the changing environment. So we have to provide training on the changing scenario or changing environment. So what is the basic importance? The first one is better performance. That means when training is will be provided, the employee's skill and ability will be increased, and a increase of skill and ability relating to a particular area or when area of specialization knowledge increased, in that case they will try to perform in a better way. So by providing training, employees' performance can be improved both in quantity point of view as well as quality point of view. Better or increased employee performance directly leads to increased operational productivity. So when performance of the employee increased individually, in that case overall organization improvement or productivity can be increased, and that leads to organizational profit. Improvement in employee performance or productivity in a developed country lend to support the statement. So when there is improvement of employee performance or there is improvement of productivity, in that case countries developed or the economic position of the country also developed. The second benefit is less supervision. That means there is no more required to supervise the employee by the superior. That means already training will be provided. So the employees are well equipped by acquiring the knowledge and the skill from the trainer. So when a training or trained worker is self-reliant, that means after providing training, the worker becomes self-reliant. He knows his work and a way to perform, how to perform the work. Then another importance, that is less learning period. A well-planned and systematically organized training program reduce the time as well as a cost involved in learning. So when training will be provided, in that case more time will be devoted and a certain amount of expenses to a certain extent that will be also made by the organization, and when everything will be planned and systematically organized, in that case there is no more requirement to devote time as well as cost involved for learning. Training enables to avoid the waste of time as well as efforts in learning through trial and error method. There is another important, that is high morale. Training that not only improves the ability and skill but also change the employee attitude and behavior, and that is to a positive extent. Higher performance, job satisfaction, job security and avenues for internal promotion, that leads to high morale among the employees, and a high morale in turn makes the employees more loyal. So where there is morality increases, in that case the employees are more loyal to the organization and everything can be improved in a positive extent. Attitude, behavior, performance, job satisfaction, job security as well as avenue, that leads to internal promotion. Then the next importance, that is personal growth. That means the employees are more motivated, they will work more to earn more. Training improves the employee's ability, knowledge and skill, as well as it prevents the employee's obsolescence. That means they will not be idle after getting proper training, and this makes employees growth oriented. Then health and safety. Proper training can prevent industrial accident. A safe work environment that leads to more stable mental attitude on the part of the employees. That means when training is provided, in that case the employee thinks that he is safe in the environment, and that leads to more stable for their mental attitude of the employee and on the also part of the employee. And the managerial mental state, that also improve. Supervisors knows that they can better themselves through company designed training program. Then another important point, that is favorable organizational climate. That means the aforesaid advantages combined that lead to an improved and favorable organizational climate. So what we have discussed previously, that leads to better or favorable organizational climate, and that characterized by better industrial relation and disciplines, which reduced resistance to change, reduce absenteeism and a turnover. That means the absenteeism can be reduced, the turnover, that means the employee will not detach from the existing organization, and also that leads to resistance to change of the employees, and which overall improves the stability of the organization. Then now we are going to discuss what is the basic difference between training and development. The first one is training is a short-term process, but development, that is long-term process. That means through training the employee developed. So development, that leads to long-term process. Second benefit or second difference, training is for non-managerial or operative personnel, whereas development for managerial as well as supervisory personnel. Third difference, training imparts knowledge and skill in respect of a specific job, but development that imparts knowledge and skill relating to variety of a job. Then another difference, training is based on technical as well as mechanical operation, but development that is based on theoretical as well as a conceptual idea. Now we are going to discuss what is training need assessment, why training will be provided, what are the basic needs for training assessment. So training need assessment means the method of determining if training need exists, and if it does, what training will be required. That means the organization first think that whether there is necessary for providing training to the employee or not. So before providing training, the organization first to make assessment. whether it is necessary, and if it is necessary, then what type of a training will be provided to the employee so as to fill up the gap which arises. So training need assessment seeks to identify accurately the levels of a present situation in the target survey, interview, observation, secondary data or workshop. The gap between the present status and the desired status indicate the problem. That means what the organization require and what that is present in the organization. The difference between the present as well as the desired status, that leads to training need assessment. So training needs is equal to desired capability minus current capability of the participant. The difference between the desired and the present status of the employee, that leads to training need assessment. So this is a diagram. This shows where the employees are now. The employees are in this position and they think that, or the organization thinks that the employee will go to this position. So that is where they need to be now or tomorrow or in future. That means the employee in future will go to which position, and from this position to this position there must be need of a training. Otherwise the employee which is in this position cannot go directly to this position. That can be possible only through providing training or giving knowledge and skills. So in that case, skill, knowledge, behavior as well as performance gap, that will be assigned, and after that the training will be provided. Why do training need assessment? Training need assessment provides information for skill and development, and that requires all members in your network. It is one of the key steps for preparing training plan as well as provide various information which base the network training plan, and that enables to identify the gap between the current level of knowledge, skill and attitude with the required level of knowledge, skill and attitude. The second one is identify what the general content of a training should be. That means what is going to provide through the training or the employee. Then form the foundation of the training plan. The plan that should be designed properly. Provide a baseline for the evaluation of a training plan. Then ensure that appropriate and relevant training is provided or delivered. And the next one is maximize use of scarce resources. That means after ensuring the organization that appropriate and relevant training is delivered to the employees, then organization maximizing use of scarce resources for training needs assessment. Then why do a training need assessment? The organization must analyze as much information as possible about the following. The first one is organization and its goal and objectives. What the organization is, what the organization is going to achieve, its objectives or goal. Based upon that, the training need assessment will be provided. Then the job and the related tasks that should be learned or that need to be learned. Then the next one is competencies and skills that are needed to perform the job. What the skills or competencies required to perform the job, based upon that the training will be provided. Then individuals who are to be trained. That means when training will be provided, the organization have to assess that which employee is required for getting training, and after identifying the required employees, then the organization will provide training to them by the trainer. Then what is the benefits of a training need assessment? The first benefit, it identifies the performance goals, knowledge, skills and abilities needed to or needed by a company's workforce. The second benefit, it identifies the gap in training provision in sectors or the regions. Then next benefit, it helps to direct resource the areas of a greater priority. Then the next benefit, it addresses the resource needed to fulfill the organization vision and mission and improve the productivity and provide quality products and services. What are the key steps that are required for effective training need assessment? That means prepare thoroughly. Organization must have to prepare thoroughly whether that require training or not. Then follow a structure methodology. Proper methodology or train should be provided at the time of a training. Then like training needs with the objectives of the network, and again commitment from members to participate in the training need assessment. That means organization have to make a commitment from the members that they must have to be participate in training need assessment. Then communicate with all those involved. Ensure you have the skills to conduct the training need assessment, both analytical as well as communication. Then collect the results gathered and prioritize the identified training needs and group them into training categories. So these are the various parts relating to effective training need assessment. So this is our today's discussion relating to training concept and importance, objectives, and what are the benefits provided by training, and what is the basic difference between training and development, and what is training need assessment, why it will be provided, and what are the benefits for training need assessment and effective training need assessment. Everything that will be discussed. In our next class, we will discuss various methods of training. Thank you. Have a good day to all of you.